Hello class, my name is Nate Haywood and this is my chapter presentation for Communications 526. I will be presenting to you chapters 15 through 18. Chapter 15 discusses story briefing, chapter 16 and 17 specifically discuss I am statements, and chapter 18 discusses unique value propositions or the UVP. So to begin with chapter 15, a story brief. What is the purpose of a story brief? They provide a summary of strategic thought, sets up expectations for brand's messaging, and also defines the most important communication obstacles that obstruct a stronger connection between the brand and the prospect. So essentially, a story brief is a collective assessment of how well the brand is reaching out to an audience, conveying its message, and what it is that the prospect wants, and how the brand can best to get it to them. Now, there are 6 steps to conducting a story brief: the backstory, the brand's inner layer, the brand's outer layer, obstacles, the prospect's outer layer, and the prospect's inner layer. To provide a little bit of what those are, the backstory, it's self-explanatory. It's a bit of the history of the brand and how it got to where it currently is. The brand's inner layer is the brand's core beliefs and values, essentially the values and what the brand stands upon. The brand's outer layer, how the inner layer is supported by the products, so what the brand is producing, how it corresponds with the brand's core beliefs. Obstacles, essentially the most important obstacles hindering a strong relationship with the prospect. What is hindering that connection between prospect and brand? And then prospect's outer layer, the demographics and general information, so your age, your gender, social status, family, things of that nature. And the prospect's inner layer, which are the core beliefs and values to which the prospect attaches itself. And those are the 6 steps of properly conducting a story brief. On to chapters 16 and 17. I am statements. Well, what is an I am statement? The book describes an I am statement as valuable immersion experiences as you think and feel like the character you're describing. An I am statement can be done for both prospect and brand. They allow you to try on the individual psyches of the brand story's character to see how it fits. And they help us relate to the brand as a person. So essentially, an I am statement allows for us to connect with a brand on a more personal scale. It allows us to learn about what makes them tick and vice versa, how the brand learns what makes us as the consumer, what makes us tick, and how they can better get their products to us, the prospect. Chapter 17 provided 4 examples of I am statements, 2 for 2 separate brands. And each of those brands will receive a I am statement for the prospect and an I am statement for the brand. So you were able to see how the prospect was able to connect to the brand and how the brand was able to connect to the prospect. On to chapter 18, which discussed unique value proposition or a UVP. Essentially, a UVP is the epicenter of the brand story. It's the point. It's the punchline and premise all rolled into one statement. Belief that we want both prospects and employees to associate with the brand beyond its functional purpose. Explains the big why behind the brand, why the brand does what it does, what motivates it, what fuels it, and also depends on the seller's motivation, to kind of piggyback off of the last point. Obviously, every company does what it does to make money. That is implied, but there are also other incentives, and UVP helps tell the prospect or consumers exactly what that incentive is. So another another thing in chapter 18 was the difference between the theme line and the plot line. The theme line, also known as a tagline, implies the brand's belief, the way a story's theme expresses the story's significance. So the theme is the bottom line of the story, what happened, what went on. And so essentially, the theme is what the brand believes about itself and just in general. Examples the book provided were Nike's Just Do It, President Barack Obama's Yes We Can, and North Face's Never Stop Exploring. Those are beliefs that that each of those three entities held to their own and were willing to extend outward, but they were their own core beliefs. Plot lines, on the other hand, they express what the brand wants the prospect to believe. Easy as Dell. They want you to believe that their Dell computers are easy, are simple to use. Or Allstate's, you're in good hands. They want you to believe that when you sign on to Allstate, you're in good hands, you're in good shape. All these things that you would entrust to them are taken care of. And that's what they want you to believe about them. So those are the two differences between the tagline and the plot line. I've thought of a few that have essentially resonated with me. When you watch TV and you hear them in the commercials and stuff like that, and they make you want to buy the product just like that, or they have you thinking about the product at least, which is essentially what they are trying to do. Which directly leads to my question for you, my discussion question for you all, which is essentially, what is at least one theme or plot line from a brand that either once resonated with you, and why? Why did it connect? Why did you connect with it the way you did? And if you were able to connect with it, did you purchase any products from said brand? So thank you. That is my presentation for chapters 15 through 18. Look forward to reading your discussions. Have a great day and have a blessed semester. Bye-bye.